This is Linda Hofshire with the Embedding Evaluation in Libraries project, and this video focuses on using surveys to gather data when conducting an evaluation in your library. Specifically, this video discusses how to write the questions and other items included in a survey. Surveys allow evaluators to gather information from a group of individuals that is too large to be observed directly. A survey presents each individual with a set of standardized questions and/or asks him or her to respond to a set of statements. Together, these questions and statements are referred to as survey items. By using standardized items, surveys enable evaluators to aggregate data and describe the characteristics of a large group of respondents. Surveys are a very flexible data collection method that can be used to gather information about attitudes and opinions, as well as factual information and descriptions of behavior. However, survey responses are self-reported. That is, the respondents report information about themselves. This can be a benefit when you are seeking to understand respondents' perceptions and opinions, but it can be a limitation when you want to understand respondents' actual behavior. To use surveys in your library, the first step is to develop specific, clearly defined evaluation questions that the survey will seek to answer. These are not the actual items that will appear on the survey instrument, but rather the broad, overarching questions you want to answer through the use of a survey. You will then develop a set of survey items that collectively will help you to answer the evaluation questions. Survey items can be categorized into two groups, close-ended and open-ended. Close-ended items are those that provide a predetermined list of response choices from which respondents can make their selection. Examples of close-ended questions are multiple choice questions and rating scale items. Since surveys are used to gather standardized data that can be aggregated, the vast majority of survey items should be close-ended. This presents a possible limitation, however, since you will need to know the appropriate response choices in advance. If you are uncertain about what response choices may be appropriate for certain survey items, you may need to conduct exploratory research prior to drafting them. In contrast to close-ended items, open-ended items invite respondents to enter an unstructured response, such as a number, a few words, or one or more sentences. While most of the items on your survey should be closed-ended, you can include a limited number of carefully constructed, open-ended items. If you find yourself wanting to include many open-ended items in your survey, that may be an indication that your evaluation would be better served by conducting interviews rather than or in addition to administering a survey. In order to obtain valid, reliable information, survey items must be written in such a way that respondents understand the questions, have the knowledge necessary to answer the questions, and have the appropriate response choices available to them. Specifically, you will need to use simple, clear language. If respondents don't understand exactly what an item is trying to communicate, it is more likely that they will make mistakes, choose the wrong answers, or give up on the survey entirely. You will also need to write the survey items in short, complete sentences that are free of jargon and acronyms. It is best to avoid wording items in the negative, as these are easy for respondents to misinterpret. You should also limit each item to a single thought or idea. Poorly written survey items sometimes include more than one thought or idea embedded in them. When that happens, respondents may answer one but not both parts of their answers because the two parts may be in conflict, leaving them unsure about which answer to select. You also need to avoid bias in the wording of the items and response choices. Biased items are those that encourage respondents to answer in a particular way. For example, some surveys include items written in a way that reveal the evaluator's own opinion or refer to what most people think or believe. These items would be biased because respondents may be inclined to answer in a way that agrees with the stated opinions. As you write your survey responses, you will need to ensure that the response choices are exhaustive. Response choices should be comprehensive so that every respondent can find a response that reflects their experience or opinion. As you write your items, you should reflect on different situations and circumstances that would influence respondents' answers. Strive to consider respondents who will be an exception to the rule, and then include response choices for those individuals. Be sure to include none of the above and other specify choices as needed. In addition, when structuring response choices, ensure that they are mutually exclusive. That is, that the response choices don't overlap. Survey items should focus on respondents' personal experiences and perspectives, rather than asking them to speculate on the experience and perspectives of others or of people in general. Respondents must have the knowledge necessary to answer the questions being asked. In addition, items should not require respondents to recall details of past behavior or to project future actions. It can be a good idea to randomize response choices whenever possible because respondents are more likely to select response choices near the top of the list. To offset this bias, you can employ the randomization feature of your survey software that presents response choices in a varied random order. However, randomization should not be used with response choices that have a logical order to them, such as agreement scales or other scales that range in intensity. For example, very satisfied to very dissatisfied. Finally, you'll want to avoid survey items that ask respondents to rank a list of response choices. Ranking items are difficult to analyze, and they are also misleading because it's possible that all of the items asked about could be of equal importance to respondents. In place of ranking tasks, you can use rating scales. Most often, you'll want to include equal numbers of positive and negative response choices to avoid encouraging respondents to provide a positive or negative answer. Opinions are divided about the importance of offering a neutral response choice in a rating scale and the optimal number of response choices. To learn more about writing survey items, you can visit a website developed by the Pew Research Center that provides an overview of question design. In addition, the Center for Innovation in Research and Teaching at Grand Canyon University has developed a website on writing survey questions. You can also read Survey Research Methods by Floyd Fowler, as well as Internet, Phone, Mail, and Mixed Mode Surveys by Don Dillman and colleagues. And after you have written your survey items, you can view the video in this series on survey design and administration. And for more information about embedding evaluation in your library, visit our website at libraryeval.org.